What the is the Northern Ireland Protocol? It's a deal that was agreed less than 3 years ago, and it's already causing problems. So a lot of people are saying,
Prime Minister, you must be furious with whoever signed up to a deal this bad.
Let's make it simple. This is Northern Ireland, population 1.8 million. It's part of the UK and it shares a land border with the Republic of Ireland. Until the 90s, it was one of the most dangerous places in Europe. Over 3,000 people died, half of them civilians, in a conflict between unionists who wanted to stay in the UK and nationalists who wanted to join Ireland. The British Army was brought in to keep the two communities apart, but quickly became embroiled in the fighting.
Troops were sent through the barricades to restore order.
After 3 decades of bloodshed, a peace deal called the Good Friday Agreement was signed in 1998, ending the Troubles and making violence mercifully rare. For the next 20 years, the political status of Northern Ireland looked settled. But then, Brexit. Even before the vote in 2016, it was clear that Northern Ireland could become a major issue for Britain leaving the EU, because it's the only part of the UK that shares a land border with an EU member state. The EU has very strict trade rules. Its leaders worried that the 300-mile open border would become a backdoor, a kind of loophole that might allow companies to sneak goods into the EU without following its rules. They couldn't build a physical border because any checkpoints or security guards would become targets for violence. This problem means there's already been 2 versions of the Northern Ireland Protocol. The first was agreed by the UK and EU and avoided a physical border, but pro-Brexit Conservative MPs rejected it. Then Boris Johnson became Prime Minister and he went back to the EU with a different solution. This second draft of the protocol got past pro-Brexit MPs and became law. But there was a new problem. Northern Ireland's Democratic Unionist Party, those are the people who want to stay in the UK, hated it. And, spoiler alert, they still do.
We are clear that the protocol represents an existential threat to the Union and to the future of Northern Ireland within the United Kingdom.
They say it creates a border in the Irish Sea. What they mean is that if you're trying to move goods from mainland Britain into Northern Ireland, you have to fill out a load of forms. They've always said they don't like this version of the protocol, but now the DUP find themselves with an important bargaining chip. In May this year, Northern Ireland passed a major milestone in its history. The first time ever a nationalist party, Sinn Féin, won more seats than any other in the Northern Ireland Assembly. In theory, this woman, Michelle O'Neill, should be the new First Minister, but she can't take her post because the DUP, which came second, won't name a deputy. So we're kind of in a strange position. The loser gets to block the winner from taking office. That's because the Good Friday Agreement, remember that deal from the 90s that ended the Troubles, said that unionists and nationalists would share power. So the largest party gets to pick the First Minister, but the second place party has to nominate a deputy. Otherwise, the government, can't govern. So what happens now? The parties in Northern Ireland have 6 months to try and form a government. If that doesn't happen, there'll have to be another election. The DUP say they won't name a deputy until the Northern Ireland Protocol is torn up or rewritten. This might all sound like a massive headache for the UK government, but even the current Conservative cabinet, that's the people who negotiated and approved this deal, weren't exactly wild about it to begin with.
The Northern Ireland Protocol is not working and needs to change.
And the UK government's Northern Ireland minister showed Channel 4 News just how complicated the current arrangements are.
This is the documentation that is required to bring containers in from Great Britain to Northern Ireland.
Businesses in Northern Ireland do say that the rules about bringing goods in are much too burdensome. And consumers have complained about empty shelves and not even being able to buy some products. Boris Johnson says that he wasn't expecting the EU to actually carry out the checks that he signed up for.
I hoped and believed that our friends would not necessarily want to apply the protocol in quite the way that they have.
Now the UK government says it wants
to make changes in the protocol.
It suggested triggering Article 16, a clause in the protocol that could allow the UK to stop doing the checks in the Irish Sea that the DUP hates so much. But if that happens, the EU could take some steps of its own. Some experts even warn of a trade war, with the two sides increasing tariffs on each other's products, pushing up prices for consumers and damaging businesses. Both the EU and the UK can keep negotiating, though, if they want to avoid all that. That's why everyone's talking about the Northern Ireland Protocol. And it means that if you thought Brexit was over, you'd be wrong.